If your dog suddenly refuses to enter one specific room in your house, don't force them. Don't call it silly. Don't laugh it off. They're not afraid of the dark. They're trying to protect you from something that shouldn't be there, something that waits in the corner, something only a few people are ever allowed to see. Most people think their dog avoids a room because of a smell, or maybe it's too hot, or they're just anxious. But the truth shows itself slowly when your dog starts stopping at the doorway at the same exact time every night, and no matter what, refuses to go in. It's not the darkness they're scared of, it's something else. Something that stays in the corner and watches. George and his Labrador Limo lived in a quiet home. One night, Limo stopped entering the guest room. Same time every night. Limo would sit at the door and stare. George first thought Limo was just acting silly, but soon he started to see strange shadows shifting in the corner of that room. His sleep was disrupted by vivid hallucinations, soft whispers, and distant. Limo would growl deeply and fiercely. Every time George tried to step inside, as if warning him. Within weeks, George began to feel constantly watched, anxious, unable to relax in his own home. He realized that, driven by his own loneliness and guilt over past mistakes, the creature had found a way in nosing. Late Q's E is emotional vulnerability as an entry point. He said the air in that room felt different, thicker, like breathing through wet cloth. The shadows weren't just shapes, they pulsed, like they were alive. He told his brother once, just once, but the look his brother gave him, like he was unraveling. George never brought it up again. Later, when George finally moved out, he sealed the guest room shut, nailed boards across the door. No one was allowed in. He told the realtor, "Don't open it, no matter what the new owner says." In a historic home in Salem, Rebecca and her terrier, Coco, experienced a similar terror. One cold autumn evening, Coco refused to go past the threshold of a particular study. When Rebecca installed a camera, the footage revealed a long, shifting shadow moving slowly in the far corner. It's so fey, which it's for it's in the Nate's Valerie. But pine trees, way, eerie, waters, bekrega, kosobia tebel, Coco would bark, growl, try to force her away from that room every time she got near. It turned out that Rebecca's deep-seated fears of failure, of rejection, had left her exposed, emotionally open. The perfect target. The unseen entity exploited that weakness, invading her mind and turning her once safe home into a constant source of dread. She tried everything, but every night, at the same exact time, Coco would cry at the door, whimper, scratch, trying to keep her away. The shadow on the camera began to move, closer, frame by frame, like it knew it was being watched. One night, the footage showed something behind her. She wasn't even in the room, just watching the recording. But in the reflection of the study's glass door, something was standing behind her shoulder, and she hadn't moved. In a quiet suburban home, 17-year-old Chris noticed his German Shepherd, Tank, suddenly avoiding the family laundry room. It was a completely normal part of the house, one they used every day, but for some reason, Tank would stop at the door, tail down, ears back, growling low at something only he could see. Chris brushed it off for days, until one night he decided to stay in the room alone. To test a theory, he placed his phone in the corner to record. What the video showed chilled him. A tall, shifting silhouette, barely visible at first. standing in the exact corner Tank always stared at. Over the next week, Chris began forgetting simple things, where he placed his keys, entire conversations, even his own birthday. His friends noticed him staring off into corners of rooms, completely silent, eyes wide. Tank refused to go near him. The doctors called it stress. But Chris knew. It started the moment he challenged what was hiding in that ordinary room. The entity had used something real, his grief over his parents' recent divorce, as a crack to slip in, and now it was peeling him away from himself, one forgotten memory at a time. Chris said sometimes he'd catch himself halfway through brushing his teeth, unable to remember if he'd already done it. His voice notes became jumbled, half-finished thoughts, rambling about mirrors, about something behind the dryer. In file number 20, his last recorded note ended abruptly after the words, "It's learning how to be me." The man in the corner always stays in one place, the corner of the room. You can't see him unless he wants you to. But if you hear a buzzing, like an old TV on with no signal, and feel your ears pop, he's close. If the lights flicker, but only in that one room, don't check. When a dog stares at that corner, the creature doesn't move. It freezes. But the moment the dog walks away or is forced inside, the man starts to move, slowly. You won't hear footsteps, just the soft tap-tap of nails on drywall, like a lizard, or something pretending to be one. He only appears in homes where someone is empty inside, people who feel alone, disconnected, or broken after some kind of loss. That emotional emptiness creates a space for him to enter, and once he's inside your home, he won't leave until he's taken something from you. Sometimes it's a memory, a relationship, a sense of time. Indicated. Sometimes it's your voice, other times your reflection. If your dog suddenly stops going near a certain room, don't force them inside. If they growl, bark, or whine, listen. Never look directly into the corner. If you see something standing there, it might see you too. And if it does, it'll remember. Cut it off completely. And remember, your dog isn't scared. They're trying to protect you from what's already inside, from something that doesn't blink, doesn't breathe, and never leaves until you do.